Kate Moss has wrecked that certain Aquaman starlet simply by appearing in the courtroom today. What's astounding is that the media that was once firmly planted on her side are now totally Team JD. You can see it in headlines as they await Kate Moss and the wrecking ball she brings. The reason for that is because they know they can't spin their way out of this one. That certain Aquaman starlet created a story back in UK 2020. They decided that they were going to retell that in 2022. Yeah, Kate Moss, she's going to walk into the courtroom. She's going to take that apart. You and I, we're going to talk about exactly what that means. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And to truly understand what kind of damage Kate James is going to do, I want to tell you a story from that certain Aquaman starlet. This story has multiple narratives, by the way. That's why she adds Kate James into it, which I'll explain in just a second. But listen to this. I mean, really visualize. Staircase incident. Soon after JD returned from LA, we got into a big argument one night because I found messages that showed he was cheating on me. I knew that he had cheated on me before, but I did not think he would have carried on after we were married. I confronted him about it. He reacted badly. He started smashing things up all around the apartment, including possessions of mine in my closet. I went to the penthouse next door where my sister Whitney was staying and told her what had happened, and she came into the apartment where JD and his team were. I remember being very upset and crying. I also remember JD and I were shouting at each other, and at some point he started hitting me. Everything happened very quickly. I remember Whitney standing between JD and I when he was trying to attack me on the mezzanine level. He pushed Whitney out of the way so he could reach me. She had her back to the stairs, and I remember being really scared that she was going to fall down the stairs. I lunged at Johnny to stop him from hurting my sister and struck him to protect her. It was an instinctive reaction to protect my sister. Johnny grabbed me by the hair with one hand and hit me repeatedly in the head with the other. His security stepped in and separated us. Whitney stayed with me that night after the incident. Now, that certain Aquaman starlet needs this incident to stay intact because Whitney is the only person saying, yes, I saw JD. I saw what he did. I was there in person. The problem is that Whitney's story, it doesn't match up with hers. She does a very detailed one that, well, it goes all over the place. And the problems for that certain Aquaman starlet, oh, they don't stop there. You have Travis McGivern, for example. Travis McGivern went on the record testifying on behalf of JD, where he talked about that certain Aquaman starlet throwing a Red Bull can. Whitney, by the way, she's reversed that story, saying that JD's the one that did that. He also talks about a fist going right over his shoulder, making contact with JD, something that certain Aquaman starlet does not deny doing. And on top of that, you have multiple other people, some that have testified, some that have not, but I'm sure they can be called. People like Vince Jolivet, for example, that gave a declaration. Vince Jolivet was the partner of James Franco. In 2016, he shared an office with Jennifer Howe. He dated Whitney, and what he put on the record, well, he said that during a conversation that they had in spring of 2016, I asked Whitney why she moved in with Jennifer Howe, the founder of the Art of Elysium, and she relayed to me a story about having to stop her sister, that certain Aquaman starlet, from accosting JD, and in the process, how her sister almost knocked her down a flight of stairs. Now, that certain Aquaman starlet understood that it was a problem, and a big one at that, so she deferred to a tactic used in UK 2020, throwing Kate Moss into the conversation. Now, she did a lot in UK 2020 as well. Why? Because there was a relationship from 1994 to 1998, and she figured Kate Moss would never speak up. In the new trial, though, she only brought her up once. That was connecting her to the story we've been talking about, and she said the following, quote, "I didn't hesitate. I didn't wait. I immediately thought of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I hit him. Now, a huge problem for that certain Aquaman starlet, and one that Kate Moss will end up wrecking her for it, is where exactly this story came from. See, she says that it was passed on by two friends. She had basically heard that from them. They were told this in confidence, and she was having it passed on, as a cautionary tale. On top of that, she was implying that you could find proof of this online, but when you go to Google Trends, you can set it all the way out to 2004. This is only 5 years, but you can go back much, much further. What you'll find is that there's no blips whatsoever out here. Nobody has talked about it. Nobody has looked it up, even though it would have taken place much further before. Somebody would have surely brought it up, but no. That doesn't happen until the current discussion here. Even in UK 2020, nobody really caught on to it. Nobody really discussed it, and that meant that nobody challenged it then, but they are now. Now, the media, they know that it's gonna go bad too, and they are prepped for that certain Aquaman starlet to absolutely get wrecked, and she's never faced anything like this. See, they've always been on her side before. They have always tried to back JD into a corner, but they're looking at what's going on in the public, and well, that combined with what they know Kate Moss is going to say, yeah, they're prepping articles. And listen to how this discusses JD. This was a global love affair conducted at the Ritz Hotel in Paris, the Chateau Marmont, and the Viper Room in Los Angeles, with the couple flying around the world in private jet. By 1998, Moss had hopes that they would marry, but just at that point, JD dumped her. A few weeks later, he met French actress Vanessa Paradis, and within 3 months, she was expecting a baby. Soon afterward, Kate went to rehab for the first time, and by her own admission, she quote-unquote cried for years. JD was the one who got away, and the defining love affair of her life. Some believe she is still half in love with JD. Now, you see that. You know they are not prepping the trap. Now, granted, they do expect the other side there, with that certain Aquaman starlet, to bring up trashing hotels. You had JD. He was arrested at one time for that, and they brought it up over and over again in UK. That's what they've been bringing up here, trashing items. That somehow means, you've got some indicator of more. But Kate Moss, obviously, she's not going to say anything like that. Instead, she's going to absolutely destroy this narrative, a narrative that certain Aquaman starlet and her own sister, they can't agree on. Yeah, it is going to go bad. Terribly so. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. It is going to be beautiful to watch, too. As always, appreciate you. There are links in the description. Check those out. They back the channel. And you being here, that is so great. Appreciate you. Going to end here with this one. Thank you again. See you soon.